This is Hannibal here from the HannibalTV.com. And as 221 has begun now and moving forward, I am going to be covering UFO news as well as combat sports news. I thought I would start the year by doing a quick review of the major UFO news nuggets of the past year. So I'll get right into it and make this as brief as possible. If there's any questions or comments, I might answer a few at the end. Last January, the Navy said to Vice that the release of certain classified briefings and more UFO video incidents that are held by the Department of the Defense right now, but classified to the public, quote, would cause exceptionally grave damage to national security, end quote. They're talking about United States national security. In April, the Pentagon and the U.S. Department of Defense officially released the unclassified footage of three, quote, unidentified aerial phenomenon, end quote, that were captured by U.S. Navy aircraft. These had already been leaked, and they had been previously released by the Navy, but the Pentagon formally released them in April. So for the people that say, well, there's only blurry footage of UFOs, blurry pictures, these three clips were taken by Navy pilots, and they showed up on radar as well. And it has become knowledge that these are not the only unidentified aerial phenomenon video that they have, nor are those the full videos. There's more to them. Those were just the portions released. So there is more in their possession. Those are the only ones released. And those were initially leaked by Tom DeLonge, who runs To the Stars Academy and is the former Blink-182 singer. I believe they still do shows here and there. And Tom has said, quote, UFOs are real. And regarding those videos, the first video release was from November 14, 2004, from an F-18's gun camera. The second one was shot January 21st, 2015. And there's actually pilots commented on that one. And the third was also taken on January 21st, 2015, but it's unknown whether that's the same craft that was also seen that day. And these Navy pilots are trained observers. They know the difference between an aerial vehicle performing incredible feats than a speck of dust or a bird. And for the Pentagon and the U.S. Department of Defense and the U.S. Navy to say they're unidentified aerial phenomenon means that they don't know what they are. And they've studied them, obviously, very thoroughly. In June, the President, Donald Trump, did an interview with his son where he said he had, quote, interesting, unquote, details regarding Roswell. And he also said that, quote, it's a very interesting place with a lot of people that would like to know what's going on there, end quote. And he said he can't talk about exactly what he knows about that yet, because obviously it's classified information. Then in Florida, Senator Marco Rubio, who was the acting, or I think he still is the acting chairman of the Senate Intelligence Committee, asked the Pentagon for a detailed unclassified report on the unidentified aerial phenomenon. Rubio says he wanted to know this due to concerns, and he believes the issue has been given not enough attention from the intelligence community. Well, the intelligence community is acknowledging the existence of an unidentified aerial phenomenon task force. So they know enough about these things that there's actually a task force regarding these phenomenon, but information about them isn't that widespread within the intelligence committee. So he was asking that more information be given. In July, there was a report that came out that mentioned that the Pentagon actually did have a long hidden UFO investigative unit, and they are eventually going to make more of their findings from this unit public, including, quote, off-world vehicles not made on this earth, end quote. So supposedly this was said back in July. We still haven't heard more information, and we're in January now. There's supposed to be information coming out regarding off-world vehicles not made on Earth. And yes, they basically admitted that all this time they were denying that there was an investigative unit regarding this phenomenon. Now they're admitting it, and I understand some things have to be classified. But why are they admitting it now? That's what makes me curious. Is more information going to come out that they just can't hide anymore? That they have to let the public know more information? Who knows? Also in July, Elon Musk, who is putting together this operation of colonizing Mars and is obviously, due to all of his work in space, privy to more information than your average person would be aware of. He came out and said on social media that aliens built the pyramids. And that's a quote. He said aliens built the pyramids. So this guy's privy to a lot of information. Why is he just throwing that bit of data out there? By the way, side note, Elon Musk also said on Joe Rogan's podcast that he was opposed to the lockdown and he didn't think that was the right way to go about it. Obviously, the leaders of the province of Ontario here in Canada didn't listen to him, as smart as he is. Now, in August, the Pentagon officially launched the Unidentified Aerial Phenomenon Task Force, boosting an effort by the Office of Naval Intelligence. So the Office of Naval Intelligence was already following a series of several unexplained incidents that have been observed by the U.S. military where unauthorized aircraft have made incursions into training ranges. Of course, Donald Trump also unveiled Space Force in December 19. But in relation to this, Unidentified Aerial Phenomenon Task Force, that is specifically to look in to these occurrences where unauthorized aircraft have made incursions into training ranges. So people that say, we don't have to worry about these things, they're in these training ranges. Sometimes they're around nuclear silos, and they don't tell us what they're all about. There's some people out there that claim they communicate telepathically with these alleged beings or whatever they are. Maybe it's not beings. Maybe it is Russia or China, which wouldn't be good either if they were in our airspace. But the problem is these kind of incursions happen all over the world. It's not just in the United States. In fact, in the early 90s, the Belgian Air Force actually also admitted to UFOs. And you can look up that episode on Unsolved Mysteries. The Belgian Air Force actually had a wave of UFO sightings in Belgium, and they were also tracked. And they were one of the countries that actually were less hidden about it and said, we don't know what these things were. And they have been in Russia. They've been everywhere. I can't say with specifically every single country in the world, but it's certainly worldwide where we seem to see these kind of things. So it's either some country or some trizillionaire has jumped everybody and has some kind of craft that's better than anything else known to man, or it's something else, which is why they need to be investigated more. In December, there was a lot going on in December. There were leaked reports from the Pentagon's UFO task force that discussed non-human technology. That's a quote. And those leaked documents included an email exchange between two high-ranking military officials about this non-human technology. Also in December, there was a leaked photo from an F-18 fighter pilot that he took with his cell phone. And this photo was taken of an unidentified aerial phenomenon that he saw while he was in his F-18 fighter jet. So this guy is another trained observer, sees something highly unusual, snaps a photo of it with his cell phone camera. There is supposed to be a second photo of it. It has not been leaked yet, or it has been leaked, but it hasn't been released to the public yet. I did speak to Nick Pope, who is the former head of the British military's UFO investigations. He told me he expects that second photo is going to be leaked sometime in 2021. And I'm talking to him Monday at 3 p.m. Again, our first conversation was not recorded, but apparently the second photo is a much better photo of what this F-18 pilot saw. Also in December, the former head of Israel's defense ministry's space directorate, Haim Eshed. This guy is a general, or was a general, and was a man that was very, very reputable, to say the least. He came out and said that there is supposedly a galactic federation of aliens that signed an agreement with the U.S., and there's a contract with them, allegedly, according to this general, that they can do experiments here. Paul Hellyer, the former Canadian Minister of Defense, actually did an interview with me back in 2017, which is up on this chat. After this Israeli news came out, I put that as an individual clip. It has almost 200,000 views now, but the mainstream media didn't pick it up. He said the exact same thing as this Israeli former minister of space defense. So there is some collaboration on that, but I guess time will tell if there's more details of that come about. But it is interesting that both high-ranking officials talked about an alleged galactic federation of aliens. Now, in January, this is the breaking news that's come out this week. There was a $2.3 trillion COVID relief and government funding bill that came out, but there was something else on that bill which was signed by President Trump that set a timeline for the U.S. Department of Defense and spy agencies to reveal everything they know about unidentified flying objects to the intelligence and armed service communities. They are instructing the Director of National Intelligence, Secretary of Defense, and the heads of other such agencies to submit a report within 180 days of the date of the enactment of the act, which I think was a week ago today, to the Congressional Intelligence and Armed Services Committee on Unidentified Aerial Phenomena. So they have 180 days to submit these reports on what's going on with UFOs, what they know, which is more than what the public knows. They have admitted that. So, but I don't know if this information that's going to be going to the Senate Intelligence Committee is going to be released to the public or not. Probably not all of it for security reasons, but it's a sign that more information could come out. It was also added that the relevant agencies need to report observed airborne objects that have not been identified, including detailed analysis of unidentified phenomenon data collected by geospatial intelligence, signals intelligence, human intelligence, and measurement and signals intelligence. It does need to contain detailed analysis of data of the FBI that was derived from investigations of intrusions of unidentified aerial phenomenon over restricted United States airspace, and an assurement of whether this unidentified aerial phenomenon activity may be attributed to one or more foreign adversaries. So are these intrusions all, let's just say, China, which I doubt? Or is it some Russia, some China, some Uzbekistan, some Samoa? Or is it one alien species, multiple alien species? We've seen there's numerous different types of craft out there being observed. Are they interdimensional beings? For the religious people out there, are they fallen angels? Are they demons? They want to know more information. And finally, the last bit of news here came out just recently, just this week, that Avi Loeb, who is the chair of the Harvard Department of Astronomy, very smart person, obviously, to be the chair of Harvard Sorry, I'm going to have to drink a bit of milk. So to be the chair of the Harvard Department of Astronomy, you'd have to be pretty intelligent. He believes that a piece of alien technology, approximately 100 yards in length, floated into our solar system for numerous days in September of 2017. I think it was about 11 days. The space object was previously dubbed Oumuamua. That was what they dubbed this space object that this Harvard head of their astronomy department believes it was actually a piece of alien technology that floated into our solar system. So there's a lot coming out lately. And someone on here wrote, imagine believing in UFOs, making fun of me. The Pentagon and the U.S. Navy has said there's UFOs that have been in our atmosphere, that have been in restricted airspace. They call it unidentified aerial phenomena. We don't know. We need more data on what they are. But to my knowledge, visitors from who knows where, could they be from under the water? There is a huge correlation between UFOs and water, or unidentified aerial phenomena and water. Are they refueling down there? Is there something down there? Is there something in Antarctica? This is why we need more data. And this is why the Senate Intelligence Committee and this Marco Rubio is looking for information. And President Trump signed the bill requesting more information be shared so we can find out what these are. yes, it seems they've been around a long time. There actually has been negative situations with these things, but there hasn't been any mass horrible thing happen yet. So it's something that you definitely want to know more about if they're intruding into your airspace. Oprah says 180 days to disclosure. Well, that's the Intelligence Committee is going to share with other divisions of the government and the Senate, to my understanding. It's not like they're going. More information obviously is going to be made public, and especially between now and then, there is going to be more information coming out. But I wouldn't say full disclosure is going to happen anytime soon, because what they're asked to do is submit a report to the Congressional Intelligence and Armed Service Committees on unidentified aerial phenomenon. They're not saying this report is going to be released to CNN and Fox News and ABC News and the UK Daily Mail and all those. So time will tell. So there's a lot of people are even watching on our Great North Wrestling Twitch channel, even if it's bots. Handy the Sock, what am I doing up so late? I just came back from my run. We're on lockdown here. As Mark says, UFO does not mean aliens. It could be some super rich person. But the point is they're violating airspace, and they have technology that we don't have right now. And it doesn't seem there can be anything we can do about these intrusions, and they're not identifying themselves of who they are or what their intentions are. So this is why we need to know more information. Cruz Staca says some people got hurt in a village in Brazil long ago. There's been some things that have happened in Brazil, yes, which I won't go into today. And I'm actually going to close it up there because I don't want to go on too long. So there's going to be a lot more news updates on this subject matter this year. So have a good night.
Thank you for watching the Hannibal TV. Please like this video if you enjoyed it, and click the subscribe button to not miss any of our latest shoot interviews, match videos, or news updates.